Welcome everyone to another fantastic ecosystem working group, all hands on Filecoin, IPFS, and libp2p. Today is April 21st, and this is the agenda for today. We'll give you an overview on the working group mission and the team itself. We'll talk a little bit more about the status of the network, and we'll have some amazing spotlights lined up for you. Talk about Filecoin Foundation, some accelerator updates, some grants, new programs, and then we'll have some deep dives from some exciting ecosystem partners with us today. Okay, what's our mission? So the ecosystems team mission is to see the long-term growth of the decentralized web by cultivating a wide variety of stakeholders and aligning them with the success of IPFS, Filecoin, and libp2p while treating them like gold. First and foremost, we start with the Filecoin stack itself, which is the storage network of Web3. It is a crypto-powered storage network and is used by plenty of or hundreds of applications today. IPFS, which has become the data and content platform and makes the web peer-to-peer, used by, again, multiple applications out there, as you can see, tons of logos. And libp2p, which allows the network, it has become the network library of Web3 and provides a very modular network stack and is used by tons of very prominent blockchains there, like Polkadot, Ethereum 2, OpenBazaar, and many others. So today, who are we? We are a huge team. We are now more than 5 organizations that are dedicated to grow the Filecoin and IPFS ecosystem. And libp2p, we have AutoCore, which has existed for a couple of months. We have Filecoin, which is more than a year old, Protocol Labs, of course, and a few new ones like Starboard, NFT.storage, and many more. Together, we form an organization or ecosystem of 80 plus full-time contributors that are aligned on the same goals. We have an ecosystem working group within AutoCore. Here you can see multiple leaders that are each responsible for their own specific ecosystem, sub-ecosystem. So please feel free to reach out to them if you need any support in any of these areas. We're here to support the overall ecosystem. So what's our strategy? Our growth strategy exists of 3 main pillars. On the top, we have our multipliers, where new major use cases are being built and bridges to other fundamental or important blockchains are being created. Again, to make the creation of new applications on Web3 easier and more integrated, with its goal to store Web3 data, and not only Web3 data, but also Web2 user data. In the middle, we have our famous builders funnel, where we help developers in creating new ideas and building those new ideas out to real projects and eventually help them build out their businesses. We do that through hackathons, educational support. We have tons of resources that allow you to self-educate, but also connect with the ecosystem and provide specialized grants and mentorship programs and eventually accelerator programs that help you accelerate your business to the next round. And that round, of course, includes funding. You'll see that we help with funding as well. And so on the bottom line, we have our third pillar, which really is the foundation of Web3, which is funding or storing all those unique data sets. And that's really the infrastructure that is holding and protecting all these data sets. There we have, again, a multitude of programs, incubation centers. We actually expand and help our storage providers to grow geographically and help grow the network in a more diverse way. Now, next are some of the key metrics that we track to identify if the growth is going in the right direction. And of course, as you can see, one of them is our developer adoption. And since the inception, we have seen a tremendous adoption from the developer community. Actually, today, we're one of the most developed against blockchain protocols in the world. We have more than 9,500 Filecoin contributors on GitHub. And thanks to our continuous engagement with the ecosystem through hackathons and investments, we are seeing a continuous, very strong growth. And so that leads to a ton of grants that have been handed out since the inception. We have handed out 200 grants or more than 5 million fill. We have engaged with more than 10,000 developers through hackathons. And so it's one of the key ways to really drive innovation and help those new entrepreneurs build their billion-dollar businesses on top of Filecoin. And of course, the accelerator programs, you'll actually get a deep dive later today from from Ruben on one of the accelerated programs. So excited to see what's coming out of the latest Techstars accelerated program. The second metrics is the builders funnel itself. We track every single project that comes through our funnel, and we track the different stages. As you can see on the bottom, we have in purple the total number of projects being developed. Pink is how many of those projects are moving through the accelerated program. Last year, we had 60 that graduated through our accelerated programs. This year, we'll have much or many more as we have increased and cranked up the number of accelerated programs that we've enabled. Very interesting here to see is that we had 40 projects in the beginning of 2021. Today, we have 400 projects, massive growth, and we'll continue to invest in more projects as we go. And as you can see, a ton of new logos are constantly being added to our ecosystem dashboard, thanks to our amazing team that is driving these hackathons and Builders Funnel as a whole. So very much excited. It's very excited to see all these new teams come to our ecosystem. On the bottom side, as we mentioned, building the infrastructure has been, not an easy task, but we have done a phenomenal job thanks to our storage providers globally. They're now distributed across 44 countries and are hosting 16.35 EB of capacity, which reflects or is equivalent to 1% of the total cloud storage capacity that's out there, which is amazing. Continues to grow across multiple regions. We're seeing growth in Africa. We're seeing growth in new regions. And so we invite everyone to participate in that effort. Last but not least, we also, of course, track the actual useful data that's being stored on a network. We have today 71 PB of storage, and more than 3 million deals have been transacted on Filecoin. As you can see, Filecoin Plus, which is our incentive layer, has really taken off, and you can see the total of data that's being actively stored on our network. And so we continue to see very closely, or very soon we'll reach 100 PB. Very excited to see this. When you look at the actual useful data that's being stored, we see Web3 data and we see Web2 data. On the Web3 side, we see a ton of integrations, thanks to tons of integrations, tons of work that's been done by the teams to collaborate with NFT marketplaces, Dapper, OpenSea, and connectors into other decentralized chains like Polychain, Near, etc. Those have really driven a ton of new NFTs to our platform. And so use cases NFT marketplaces have become the standard on NFT.storage, or use cases in the metaverse and gaming have become a standard use case that are using our platform for storing the NFTs that are being created in those games. Now, so obviously we're tracking the total of NFTs stored on our NFT.storage platform. And here again, great growth, continued linear growth of 60% monthly. And so we're currently at 57.8 million NFTs. Congratulations to the team, to all the ecosystem partners that have been contributing to this and are using our platform as their choice for storing the NFT. On the Web2 side, we're also tracking the Filecoin Plus data allocation or data cap that's being handed out on a daily basis. And here you can see that in the last 2 months, we have seen a tremendous growth in data cap that's being handed out by the notaries. It's, again, a very strong indicator of what is coming. So remember, with Filecoin Plus, we are handing out, or notaries are handing out, this is done by the ecosystem, are handing out free data cap in support of storing useful data to the network. So we'll be seeing a ton of new use cases coming onto the network in the next couple of months. Again, this funnel is extremely strong. And so what are the use cases that we see on Web 2? We see video and audio, consumer storage, where verifiability is extremely important, where users want to take control, finance and bio. So again, very specific verticals with very specific applications that focus on those verticals. And of course, large data sets, open data sets, climate data, Internet Archive, Gainforest, Czar are some of the few customers that are storing data onto our network. And so with that, we want to dive into the last month and give you some quick updates on what has evolved or what new programs we have delivered and have created in the next month. So I'll pass it on to some of our key leads here in the ecosystem.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rachel Horn with Filecoin Foundation. I am so glad to be here today. I just wanted to highlight an announcement that we made this month. It is the second phase of a collaboration with Electric Coin Company. This collaboration has two main components. The first is it opens up a grant pool for projects that add utility to Filecoin and Zcash ecosystems. And the second is that it opens up the Halo 2 code base with the MIT license, which is simpler to use, more permissive. You can read on our blog, there's a link in these slides about some ideas that we have for projects for the joints pool, but you can also shoot us an email at this note. We would love to bring you into this pool and see the great projects that you produce.
That's awesome. Thank you, Rachel. Next will be Chris Garcia and CW.
Hi, thanks everyone for having me. Really happy to announce the new storage provider website that myself and CW worked on over the past couple of months. It's going to be an excellent resource for storage providers, potential storage providers, and even current existing storage providers to reference and get some good information off of. Just some key highlights is what you'll see on this website when you go to this sp.filecoin.io address. You'll see information on FilPlus, an ROI calculator. You'll see the Q1 storage provider public meeting recap video. You'll also see some information on how to become a storage provider, and that's including a couple of accelerators, ESPA, as well as Venus. And you'll see some bootcamp modules as well there on this website. Also, you'll see some information on Filecoin SP Mentorship program. It's a great way for new service providers to get up and running quickly on the network. And then a knowledge base that is going to have all kinds of information, Filecoin Foundation blog links, developer projects, Lotus docs, all kinds of different things. And then finally, it'll close out with an FAQ at the very bottom for some of the more popular questions that we get about storage provider.
Awesome. Very good. Finally, a single stop shop for storage providers. Thank you, Chris. Ashwan, tell us more about your new program.
Thanks, Stefan. Yeah, continuing on the storage provider front, on April 18th, this past Monday, we introduced the new Filecoin Storage Provider Mentorship Grants Program, FSPM, to make it as efficient and seamless as possible to onboard SPs to the network. This program will allow qualified grantees to receive subsidized expert SP consulting and is honestly the perfect opportunity for those looking to become an SP or nascent SPs looking to scale their operations. So right now, for a limited time only, 10 qualified applicants will receive 10 hours of fully subsidized consulting services and support, which is valued at $4,000. And yes, you heard that right. You can access fully subsidized consulting on topics like hardware considerations, the economics of the Filecoin network, and more fundamental topics about becoming an SP. In the near future, more consulting packages will be available, also at a subsidized rate. So to learn more about our program or check out our consulting partner Factor 8 below, you can apply to the program clicking this link, and you can also learn more about the general program. So thank you all, and back to you, Stefan.
Awesome. Thank you, Ashwant. I would say apply, apply, apply. I'll just take it. So ESPA had the second cohort last week, had more than 15 projects, 15 graduates. This is the second time we run this cohort for storage providers. We had more than 80 attendees. Again, what's so cool about this is that we're not just bringing potential SPs together and accelerating their business. We're also, as part of this program, creating new content for those who couldn't make it to this accelerate program. And that content is made available on our storage provider's landing page. So if you want to know more, if you want to learn more and follow the same class, there is a bootcamp, a virtual bootcamp available for all of those that could make it. But again, great momentum, as you can see, a ton of interest. What's unique about this cohort is that we had more international attendees from Australia, Europe, US, Canada, etc. So again, great success. Looking forward to the third cohort, which is going to be next quarter. So if you want to apply, please follow the web3espa.io landing page. All right, Jay Chris, tell us more about ETH Portland.
So this was a lot of fun. I was there as part of the product team representing NFT.storage. The event was put on by Dystopia Labs. They've done a bunch of the ETH events in various cities. And I was lucky enough to have my wife, Megan, who's a global consumer product and brand expert, getting the ideas like to dress up that lounge you see in the photographs. And we kind of took over that space with the blessing of the organizers because no one was using it. Ended up having some mini events in there. She pulled together the Voodoo Donuts and all that. So yeah, the lounge was great. We made good friends with the DAO team, and the event was good because everyone would talk about smart contracts. And smart contracts are, a big part of how NFT storage is going to turn our business model into a DAO over time. So it was just the right people for us to be spending time with.
Yeah, fantastic. We'd love to see more DAOs on our platform. So thank you for driving this. All right, Julia.
Hey all, my name is Julia. I'm part of Ecosystem Working Group. I'd like to share Filecoin Orbit community highlights from Q1. Last month, we kicked off our first Orbit cohort with a total of 27 members, 13 cadets, and 14 spaceships. We were also able to establish 4 communities in Orbit Uganda, Orbit Pori, Orbit Lagos, and also Orbit Tanzania. Our community members organized 7 meetups across the globe in Q1, and also our first Filecoin conference in Lagos, Nigeria. We were able to engage over 800 participants in Orbit community events in Q1.
That's incredible. More than 800. If you are interested in running a similar program in your country or location, please contact Julia. We're here to support you. This is fantastic. Thank you, Julia. Emily, tell us more about upcoming events.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily, and today I will be filling in for Jamie, our head of events, to talk to you about all of the events that we have upcoming for the rest of this year. So right now in Amsterdam, we've got a handful of events that have already happened and some that are ongoing. DevConnect, we just had an IPFS meetup, a Filecoin and Friends social, a Boost AMA yesterday, a Crypto Econ Day that's happening currently, and then ETH Amsterdam is happening at the end of this week and early next. We also have a storage provider meetup if any of you happen to be in Amsterdam. Coming up in May, we have a Filecoin Green meetup, and then in June, some pretty major awesome events. Decentral Austin is happening. The Filecoin Foundation is hosting Phil Austin. We've got Consensus. For the first Funding the Commons event that's happening in person is in New York, right around NFT NYC. Moving on to July, we've got IPFS Camp, which we're happy to bring back this year, as well as the second Sustainable Blockchain Summit, which will be happening in Paris. And then in August, we are going to Singapore for Phil Singapore. We have an entire spreadsheet of events, which I will share in the chat. So feel free to just keep updated on there. We update it daily. And yeah, just sign up for all of the events and we hope to see you there.
Amazing. I don't know how you keep up with it. I'll be at ETH Amsterdam. I know it's a lot. And for those who are listening, definitely sign up for Phil Austin. We expect more than 800 people. Or if you're in Asia, join us in Phil Singapore. This is incredible. All right, Angie, tell us more about PR.
So it's been a really busy month, a very exciting month across all of our projects and ecosystem. We made our first TV appearances. So Alan Ransel was in Bloomberg Quick Take, repping Filecoin Green. To give you some context, there's 7 million monthly viewers on that particular program. And so really exciting to engage new audiences with Filecoin Green. JV was on Ameritrade. Few less people trying to tune in there, but also exposed us to a new audience of investors and folks in the financial services side of things. So thank you so much to both of them for incredible appearances, and we're looking forward to seeing more of their faces on television. JV also added some expert commentary to a Wall Street Journal piece this week on NFTs. Starling Lab had features in Fast Company online and print, and in the Washington Post, and IPFS was the subject of a feature in the South China Morning Post. We also had some great coverage in CoinDesk, Decrypt, the New Stack, and more. A huge thank you to all of our amazing spokespeople, our PR partners at Waxman and Edelman, and all of the people who contributed to all of these projects and efforts. We have some really exciting stuff coming up, so looking forward to sharing more next month.
Incredible. Wow. JV and Ellen, I'm looking forward to see who wins on the signatures that you're going to be asked to do as you become such an important person. All right. Nicole, tell us a bit more about the database that you're collecting.
Yeah, so perfectly and coincidentally following Angie's beautiful slide, I'm working closely alongside the Compton Events team to gather some background information on those who are interested in those future speaking opportunities. So if you're a pro at fundraising and investments, NFTs are your niche, or maybe you're a part of the small portion of individuals who actually knows what content addressing is, we want to make sure that you're included in the speaker database. So the deadline is to submit is the 28th, so 1 week from now. And I'll go ahead and share the link in the chat as well. And I can't wait to see all of the awesome topics and expertises that you guys provide. Thanks, Stefan.
Thank you. Awesome. Now we're at the end. Unfortunately, not so much time for questions, but if you want to participate, as always, feel free to reach out. Here is our email, ateam@protocol.ai. Reach out to us, whatever tooling, cool project that you're working on that contributes to the ecosystem. We're here to listen and help you in your marketing efforts and being able to share that to the community. So thank you everyone for this was a session for this month. As always, thanks for everything you do in this ecosystem, all of you, because without you, this wouldn't be possible. So thanks everyone. Have a good rest of your day.